Start in child's pose. Feet together, knees wide. You can use blocks in a few ways. You can use them like we do in Pigeon with one under the forehead, one under the chest, and just build some scaffolding for yourself. You can put them under your armpits, or you can put them under your two hands and just extend your arms out in front of you. So, however you want to maybe use the blocks, go ahead and get settled into your child's pose. You can also put blankets under your seat, under your pelvis, so that your hips and your heels have contact with something. Exactly. Does it sound now like I'm coming through my AirPods or still no? No? Okay. So just relax your head, relax your pelvis, heavy it down towards the heels, but feel extension through your arms from your hips as if your arms grew from there. You can rock your forehead side to side on the mat, give your temples a little bit of a massage. And just feel your breath rise and fall in the back of your lungs. Begin to give your breath a count so that you inhale for a count of 4 and you exhale for a count of 4. So you inhale and exhale evenly. And then maybe see if you can make your breath count a little longer, both on the inhale and the exhale, but still trying for an even breath in and out. Maybe you inhale for 6 and exhale for 6, and so on. One more minute here. Even breath. Hips heavy, belly soft, filling up with air and the breath in that rises up to the back of your lungs, and then deflating everything a little heavier to the mat on the breath out. Take one more inhale. And then let your next exhale open up and let the breath out fall onto your mat. Seal your lips, and again, 3 more breaths. Inhale, bottom to top, filling up from belly to the backs of your ribs, to your collarbones, and hold your breath. Open mouth, exhale the heat of your air back down onto the floor. Last 2, breathe in. Open up, exhale. One more, inhale. Open up and exhale. Seal your lips, breathing normally. And then press yourself up to sit. You can move your props off to the side, sitting comfortably cross-legged. Close your eyes. You can bring your hands on your legs or out onto the floor to the sides or on blocks to the sides of you. Just finding a tall seat here. Gently tip your pubic bone forward, finding a little bit of an arch in your low back. And then neutralize it by plugging your sits bones into the floor so that you can sit up nice and tall. Feel the vertebra of your spine stack, one on top of the other, growing all the way up the back of your skull. Feel your collarbones grow right and left. Feeling with the eyes closed, your space around you, both in this physical world and how we interpret it spiritually, knowing that what's in front of you is your future, what's behind you is your past and your memories. To your right is the sun, it's your yang energy, it's the lightness, it's external, it's this masculine energy, it's the foot that you step forward with, it's the hand that you write checks with, it's the doing. To your left is our yin energy, it's the moon, it's the winter, it's darker, it's more intuitive, creative, watery. Below you is the earth, it's this fire, it's the effort, maybe of your day or of this past year, rising up, that then meets the heavens above you, this grace that rains down from above. So that in circling you in this sphere is this mist when the fire meets the rain. Allowing you to breathe easily in and out of the nose. Leave the eyes open and extend your 2 legs out in front of you. You can shake them out. You can sit on top of a blanket. I'm going to grab a blanket or a cushion or anything you want to sit on top of. And you can have your feet as wide as your mat. So they're straight out and then a little wide. So it's not a big straddle. It's just a little wider than hips distance. And then take your left foot and put it inside of your right thigh. Have your right leg straight out from the hip. I'm mirroring you guys. Move your flesh out of the way. Make sure that your pelvis is still tipped forward. Yeah, and then bend your right knee a lot. You can start to straighten it once we get into it. Take your right arm inside of your right leg. You can put it right on the floor and make contact here with your shoulder and your knee, especially when it's super bent. That might be nice and easy to do. Or if it's not, you can use a block, you can use another blanket, you can use a cushion and put that under your right arm. And then reach your right hand towards your right foot. Maybe you can grab it. Take your left hand to your left hip, push it down. And push down with both arms. So your left hand is plugging your left hip in. Your right arm roots both into the mat. And then whatever contact you're making with the right outer arm to the right inner knee, that pushes against each other so you can turn. You're turning your right chest towards the sky. Then keep your left hip plugged in, but lift your left arm up and reach it over your ear towards your right foot. Maybe you can grab the foot, maybe it's just nowhere near it. So what I like to do is bend the elbows, and hold my head in my hands. Yeah, so that the right arm is still making contact. You're growing your left elbow towards your right foot, and you're still turning the right chest up. So you're plugged in through the left butt. You're contacting with the arm and the leg. You're twisting through the right lung up, and you're reaching the left arm or left elbow towards your right toes. There's a lot going on both in your, you might feel this a lot in your right hamstring or your right groin, but as well as in your back body. You'll feel this in your QLs, in the mid back and in the low back. Nice stretch for the side body. And this can be still softly growing longer, or maybe there's a little rock side to side, which is soothing. As best as you can relax the right foot. You can also keep the knee really bent or see if it feels better to extend it more. But however bent or straight your right leg is, protect the knee. Make sure there's not an overstretching in the back of your knee. And keep the contact with the outer arm to the inner leg wherever you are. Ten more breaths here. If you'd like, you can bring back the count of your breathing, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4, or however long feels natural. Last 3 breaths. After your next exhale, reach your left arm up, turn to the left and come up, twisting a little to the left. and then face forward and extend your left leg out in front of you. Good. Before coming to the other side, turn all the way to face the long edge of your mat, and we're going to do a wider straddle. So use your blanket under your pelvis, widen your feet out long ways, exactly as I am, so you'll be facing your side, even though I'm facing you, just so your heels can be on the mat. Good. And it doesn't have to be the widest straddle that you've ever done. It's just straight out from the hips, out to the right and left. Good. Tip your pubic bone forward. Take any props that you want out in front of you, a bolster maybe, or the blocks under your forehead, chest, armpits, hands, anywhere that you want scaffolding. And then start to lean your way forward. Yeah. Exactly. Erin has this tower under her forehead with a few blocks. It's nice to make contact with your head on something so that you can really relax the weight of your skull. Once you're in and settled, just deepening the breathing, paying more attention to the way and quality that you breathe. Following the inhales and exhales, maybe giving them a count or just enjoying the sound of your own breath in and out. If after some time you feel like your head can go a little closer towards the floor, you can shift yourself down a notch. Otherwise, stay exactly as you are. A little over a minute left. 3 more breaths. Slowly begin to look forward and walk your hands back. Taking a moment, just seated nice and tall, arms down by your sides. And then take your time unbuilding your structure and extend your legs out in front of you again as wide as your mat. You can bend the knees, take a little windshield wiper as you go just to transition. And then you'll have your blanket under your pelvis again, your left leg out in front of you, and your right foot inside of your left thigh. Yeah, Tara, you can turn towards the front again so that your left ankle is on the mat padded. Yeah. And then bend the left knee a lot. Turn to the right. And then slide your left arm inside of your left leg, making contact with the knee. Yeah. Oh, your floor is padded, so you're probably good wherever you are. And then if you want, you can put your blanket or block or something underneath your left forearm. Maybe you're grabbing your foot, or maybe, as I did last time, you bend both elbows, holding your head in your hand and try to reach your right elbow towards your left foot. You can keep your left knee super bent, or just be mindful of it not overextending as you straighten the leg. Sorry, for a moment, take your right hand and push your right hip down and feel the plugging in of the right hip so that you feel rooted as you twist. And then return the right arm up and around to wherever it was. Yeah. And then you can close your eyes and relax the weight of your head in your hands if you do have it. Keep turning your left chest towards the ceiling. Exactly. Relaxing the left ankle and toes as best you can. You can even breathe in Ujjayi pranayama here, constricting the back of your throat as if you're trying to do that open mouth exhale, that sound, but you keep your lips sealed so it's contained. It's another way to self-soothe, to focus on the breath. Keep rooted through your right glute. Keep turning through your left lung. Keep growing through your right elbow. Ten more breaths. Last inhale. And exhale, reaching your right arm up. Keep turning to the left or to the right and come all the way up facing the right. And then face forward and extend both legs out in front of you. And sit nice and tall. Good. Now we're going to bring both feet together and the knees wide in butterfly pose. So shift so that you're comfortably on top of your blanket. Feet together, knees apart, coming into butterfly. Yeah, Terry took a good measure. So you don't want to have your feet too close to your groin or too far. There's a beautiful way to have both. Take your block and put it in front of your pubic bone and measure from your pubic bone to your heels. And that'll give you a nice balance so that you're not too far or too close, which gives you a stretch both in your inner groin and in your outer hips. If you went too far, you might only get the outer glutes. And if you went too close, you would strain the inner groin. So this is a nice way to have both. And then you're going to fold it forward. So take your block out. You can bring them forward, and as you tilt forward, lead with your chest and just walk the arms. You can bring the elbows on the blocks and hold your head. You can build the blocks up for your forehead as you fold down. Nice. Feeling the symmetry of this pose where your right and left sides meet. You being the mediator. Easy breaths in and out. Can you let go, maybe in your thoughts, maybe in your jaw? If you want to drop your head down heavier, just under a minute left, just over a minute left. Last 3. Slowly look forward. Walk your hands back and sit nice and tall, closing your knees like a book and just hugging your shins to sit taller. Cross your shins, move your blocks out of the way, move your blanket out of the way, and very gingerly find a down dog. Plant your palms, step your legs back, just treat this very slow. Lifting your hips up and back, a little bend through the knees, tilt of the pelvis. Extending your mat forward by pressing the thumb mounds forward and then pulling the mat back, almost through a pigeon toe with the big toe mounds back. Lifting your seat up from the butt bones in a tilt like cow pose. Right butt pulling away from your left shoulder, left butt pulling away from your right shoulder, broad across the back. Inner heels spinning back, inner knees wrapping forward. Armpits hollowing so the outer arms turn in. The shoulder blades point in an arrow towards your low back. Relax the head so that the ears just line up with your biceps. And then looking forward very slow, bring your right knee and chin forward for pigeon. And you can use any props you want for pigeon. You can use a bolster or a blanket under your pelvis. You can use blocks or a bolster underneath your forehead and chest, or blocks again. in scaffolding underneath your armpits. Set yourself up well in pigeon. Make sure that your right knee is all the way out to the right side of your mat. Your right foot can be close to your groin or parallel, so that your shin's parallel to the front of the mat. It doesn't have to be that way, but it can be anywhere from near your groin or parallel. Have your left leg straight out behind you, straight out from the hip, ankle unsickled. And then as you tip forward, lead with the sternum, the center of your chest, and fold into your pigeon, making sure that you're held by something, whether it's the floor or props underneath you. Another minute and a half here. 3 more breaths. Slowly look forward as you walk your hands back and sit upright. You can move anything that's right in front of you out of the sides, unless it doesn't get in your way to transition, because we'll just do down dog in between and then go into the left side. So take your time pressing yourself back up into a dog, stretching out the backs of the knees, pulling the mat apart, feeling the back body pull away in all directions. And then as you're ready, you'll bring your left knee and shin forward and come right into the other side, using maybe the same setup, or if you need a little bit more underneath you, putting another blanket or bolster or prop to support you. Right leg straight out behind you from the hip, left knee all the way out to the left side of your mat. Left foot can be close to your groin or parallel to the front of your mat with the knee and shin. And then lead with the center of your chest and come down. Another minute and a half here. Three more breaths. And then looking forward, walk your hands back and press yourself upright. Moving any props off to the side. One last down dog, gentle and slow. Pedaling it out, hand to hand, foot to foot. And then lower your knees to the mat. And I'm going to offer Savasana, come to sit, on your front body, a forward-facing Shavasana, but if you'd rather lie down on your back and take a more traditional Shavasana, you can just go ahead and make yourself comfortable now. But if you're going to do it on your belly, we're going to use blocks, putting them in the middle of the mat, medium height, and then take your blanket and fold it right on top so that it's cushioned. You can also do this with a bolster. And then lean forward so that your pelvis, your pubic bone hits the blanket blocks, but your stomach is forward of everything. Your stomach hangs over. And then come down and rest one temple to the side. I'll tell you when to switch, or you can plant your palms one on top of the other. But this is really nice and good to release the low back. So just settle in for a moment, shake, shimmy side to side. If you have to use the bathroom, you might just run and do it quickly because it's a lot of pressure there. Otherwise, just get comfortable and be here for the next few minutes. I will tell you when to move your ear, when to switch your ear. You can switch your ear, just turning your head gently to the other side, and then settle right back into stillness. Three more breaths. Gently, slowly, forehead down. Push back to child's pose. If you're in this forward facing Shavasana, and your elbows and maybe forehead can rest on the block structure. Then from where you are, make your way up to a seat. Sitting nice and tall, eyes closed or heavy. Palms down somewhere on your body, making contact. Relaxing the muscles of your face, your eyebrows, your jaw. Feeling gratitude for yourself, for your body, your health and abundance and ability. Putting your 2 hands to touch in the center of your forehead, bowing down as you're ready into this practice, your practice, and whatever it holds for you.